You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm Matt, producer. Me and Sid founded the band in like 2011. Yeah.
I'm Steve, co-executive producer of Ego Death alongside Matt and Sid. I'm Steve Lacy, yeah.
I'm Sid. Started the band with Matt back in 2011 or something, 10.
Christopher Smith, drummer, producer, been with the band towards the end of the first project and ever since then. Yeah,
I'm Patrick Page II. I play bass and I produce, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What would you say is sort of what you're going for with your solo projects? I mean, are we going to see like new identities in all of you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think more than anything, you'll see like what we all add to the internet as like individuals. Like my album, you'll probably say, oh, okay, I get it. She probably writes a lot of it, and with Steve's album, you'll hear the chords on his album, the guitar, and you'll put, okay, so I get it. Like, I get what he adds to this. He probably didn't play guitar on this track, but he probably played on all these tracks. And other than that, just trying to do stuff that we can't do with the internet,
right.
Stuff that wouldn't really make sense, stuff that would be a little too
weird.
Like for like you can't really like stray too far from your fan base and leave them behind by going and doing some completely different shit. And also as a group, like you kind of have to agree on something. So for my solo album, my solo album's probably a lot more mainstream. There's like more, there's no live drums. It's just like, it's a bunch of bouncy songs, something you might hear on the radio a little bit more so than on Ego Death. But then when we do the next internet album, who knows, because we will have all gotten out all the stuff we wanted to do that we couldn't do on Ego Death, and it'll be kind of like a clean slate where nobody's stepping on anyone's toes. Or it's like, man, I really want this to go on this album. Come on. It's like, just put it on your album. That's kind of what happened. At a certain point, you start overthinking things a little bit. And then you have to pull back and realize, dang, I made all this dope shit when I wasn't thinking
so hard.
Right,
yeah.
for real.
Hard,
Yeah. Still to this day I do that. Because you start, when something works, then it's just a natural habit for something to become formulaic. You know what I mean? So then you got to peel back layers and just ask yourself, man, does this still feel as raw as it could? And most of the time, I'm always looking for like what feels good and is sticky, so to speak. Are you guys like that with your music?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a natural, like,
it's all about it.
It's a vibe. Like we'll make a song and like the last albums, we'll just know, like,
you just know, yeah,
this hard. Like it's just you don't. It's really you'll never be able to put your finger on it. It's just something in the song that hits you a little bit harder than this. Like we have certain songs we make, we be like, oh, that's cool. We may put it out later, but we'll make like the songs on Ego Death, and we'll just be like, wow, like there's no way the world can't hear this. It's that, you know what I'm saying? Like we all have those songs where you don't know what it's for. You got this crazy song in your iTunes, and you're like, the world's gonna hear this somehow. It may not fit on this album, but it's gonna, they have to hear this. So I feel like that's how it is with us. It's like, and we don't, a lot of bands, had to make like 40 songs. I make 40 songs for this album. We get like sort of
I hate that.
Made to order. We're made to order. I hate it too.
No, I hate it.
I feel like this is the focus of.
I always felt like I wasn't
12
a legit enough artist because I don't work like that.
I did too for a long time. I felt like,
I
made
dang,
like 100 tracks, man.
I always feel like, damn, I got like 10. But there's so many I'm using.
But I love, the thing is I love very hard. You know what I'm saying? So like I fall in love with everything, and then it's the hardest thing in the world to be like, you know what? You're good enough, but you're just not good enough. There's a part of me that's just like, but just give it a shot.
Yeah.
They're all your children, yeah.
But what's and I don't know if this works for you guys, but what works for me is I'm just very stringent these days about each section of my song feeling as sticky as a hook. Like a verse isn't good enough if it doesn't, like because I've spent so many years doing music one kind of way. Now I'm just like doing like weirdo shit that just resonates with me, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I feel like a song should just have like 5 hooks. even the B sections, even the bridges, even like I want people to walk out of there singing the bridge or the B section like they're singing the verse or the hook.
That's how I try to write, I think. I try to make every piece and every melody like hit worthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And every song
can't take a note off, really. Like every piece of the song you want people to like. And it's cool to have sort of like take them through a journey, like take things out here and then hit them in the face with it. But nah, it's true. Like
with Ego Death, that's what we kind of just stripped down. We were like, okay, no intro, no outro, like let's
hit them in the face immediately. And it was a sense of urgency because. Also, I knew this album was one of those albums that was a make or break album. Like we built like a sort of cult following with Odd Future, but it was like we haven't made that project. And I understand with artists, you have to make that project that's unanimous that this is dope. You know what I'm saying? It may not be the biggest album, but just that's dope. And with Ego Death, I was like, with most people, when they listen to an album for the first time, most people like that make our type music, they have a crazy string section that leads into the album. Like, I was like, nah, we don't got enough time for that. We need for the folks in the hood when they first hear it, be like, ooh, like what's this immediately? Because once you catch that song, the next song catches them, then the next song catches them, and then by the end they're like, oh, the album's done. Because that's how I am when I'm like listening to something new. It's like if the first song hits, it just takes me through the whole thing.
It's like a good book. Like that first sentence has to catch it. Otherwise, I'm just not gonna finish reading this book.
Wow. Yeah. Anybody else grew up around like church or?
Yeah. Yeah. And I come from a family of like singers. Oh. So I ran away from singing. Like I didn't want to, because I just didn't. Yeah. I didn't like the way like a singer looked. You know what I mean? But now I'm like, all right, whatever.
You talking about when they make that? Whoo!
Yeah. Just like I don't want to be like that. Like that.
No, yeah, it's
like the wind blowing,
like the Steve in the Cali YouTube video.
No way.
You already did that.
His shirt open. What's your
Wait, who
can't escape it?
Hey, it was hot though.
It's awesome to see like a band like love each other enough to support each other equally. You know what I'm saying? And there's separate endeavors of growth. Because it doesn't happen. There's usually at least one or two egos. Like the more people, the more egos. Mm-hmm. And then mostly everybody else knows that person is the person. So it's kind of like, well, it's really what he thinks. It's really what she thinks. And then there's the second best who's like really got something to prove.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, well, you always go with what says. Well, it's about you this time and whatever you think. Like it's none of that here. Like I really do feel like it's 5 equal parts, where everybody appreciates each other. And I'm telling you, I've in all my years, I've never seen anything like it. There's always, more emphasis placed on one person, and then that person the band can last as long as that person's ego can stay, have a healthy balance,
Right.
And you guys are all equally as talented.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I think also part of it is that they all have their own lane,
Definitely.
None of our music sounds the same.